Yes. It's a live Thursday and it's the Straight Talk Podcast. Let's go. It's your boy fella on the car phone. I East O's. Next to me is Rev Ro. How you doing today, Rev? I gotta get the energy going.
I love it.
I love the energy going.
I'm doing well.
That's good.
Yes. Hey man, this is a special episode.
Why
it's been a while.
Why is it so special?
Because we got a guest in the house.
Guest in the house.
Throw the camera on over there to my boy.
It's
AP.
How you doing?
What's good?
Happy to have
Please.
Happy to have you back on the show.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Dr. Parker in the house.
Doctor.
Well,
That got a ring to it.
Don't
boy.
Dr. Parker sound good, boy?
Sound like it, you owe me some money. That would sound like.
I love being around black people. They always gas you up.
And let's get straight into the bread and butter of the show, man. Start us off with it.
Bread and butter of the show. Question
What time
of the
it is?
day. Of course, it's a segment of the podcast where I ask the fella to the left of me a question and grade him on his answer. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He like to get mad, but you can't get mad.
First
He
of all,
can't get mad.
Before he do his question, Adrian, was the Cavs a good answer to who won the trade? Yes or no?
Cavs was a great answer, especially when you watched it last night.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to be clear. That was not a horrible answer. Back to you, my boy. What's my question today? Because you was on some bullshit last week, but that's a whole nother story. You just ain't
Like I
like my
said, you
answer.
came into the answer with a 50% question with a 50%. That's all I gotta say to you.
You was leaving out a
Alright.
whole team.
All right, don't even matter. They was irrelevant. Regardless to what happened last night, irrelevant. If y'all didn't miss what we talking about, it was on last week's podcast. I asked him a question, and he got a 0 coming into the question for real. Like, as soon as he started, he got a 0. But anyway, question of the day this week I have for you. So is the big three working? Is it going to work?
I think, is it going to work as far as are they going to win a championship, or you just mean in general them playing well together?
Maybe not a championship this year. It don't have to be a champion. In your opinion, if not a championship this year, next couple years, is it going to work? Are they going to be able to eventually get a championship? That's the only way. If you got a big three, you got to get a ring eventually.
Yeah. I would say it will. Here's I want to say it'll work, but here's what's tricky to me. And you can only kind of gauge this over time as they play more together. Kyrie and KD feed off of each other really well. KD and James feed off of each other really well. Last night, they put up 108, I believe, of the 130 points that were scored. Will they continue to gel that well, but also be able to make sure that the rest of the team, you know, the people, is basically paper clips and bags of chips on the sidelines, that they can be involved enough that it's not just all three of y'all got to score 30 every night.
Shaq love to say your others got to do well, perform too. That's
For
what
real.
Shaq
Because
said.
as you saw last night, statistically, they all had phenomenal games. The three of them. That's one of them, like, RDC World videos where you're like, we showed up. What did you do?
But it's also you
Joe Harris.
gotta play an account. They went 2 overtimes though too. So
Yeah.
it's a little stat pad.
To me,
when I think about double overtimes, okay, yeah, the stats are official, but it's like as far as like, oh man, he had 40 or he had 30 in a triple double or whatever. I always think about, okay, he probably got
Extra
2 or 3
periods and
assists and 10 extra minutes.
what I will say, just in general from that game last night, I don't feel like the Nets lost that one as much as the Cavs won that one. And what I'm saying is, you would not have expected. Colin Sexton isn't a scrub, don't get me wrong, but you wouldn't have expected that. And for him to rifle off 20 straight, like, nobody saw that coming. So y'all did everything, but he just wouldn't back down. I feel like they was kind of like, you know what? They can have this one.
Mm-hmm.
We getting tired. Clearly, it's his night. He's hot. So whatever.
You're not gonna
You know
let
what I'm
this one
saying?
go.
You got it.
When you're arguing with somebody and they just keep arguing, even though you feel like you won.
You like, hey man, you know what?
Go ahead, bro. You won.
It's you. It's you.
It's not even that serious.
I'm gonna just walk away.
It's only January.
You know what I'm saying?
we are not current.
Why
We
is
really
we,
do not care.
why is we playing like this game 6? Y'all can have it because y'all only gonna win 20 more games this year.
Goddamn, I'm
Maybe.
tired. I'm tired of arguing with you right now.
I still got 3 more games this week, and I'm top of the East up here. So I'm gonna let you have
You
your
realize it's
your
your
12th seed.
championship. It's your championship.
You need this more than I do. But I think they can gel well. You just have 3 incredibly talented scorers. They've all played either the top 1 or 2 as the leader on their team before, so they have the leadership experience, championship pedigree, or well, in James Harden's case, deep playoff pedigree. You know what it's like to play in a big game. I think they can work it out. It's just gonna always be a matter of, can we get Joe Harris going? Can we get
DeAndre Jordan a couple dunks?
I didn't want to say DeAndre
No,
Jordan.
Can he get a couple dunks, couple offensive boards?
Can he be or at least can he be effective enough defensively? You know,
yeah.
And getting Shamet going. You know, we need to get our other guys going.
Shamet is gonna be a big piece.
And figuring out the rotation
Harris
of sometimes 2 of y'all are sitting, 1 of y'all is staying, or 2 of y'all are in, 1 is out.
Honestly,
just so we balancing it out.
Can't name too many other players on that bench. I know you was reaching, you was thinking about it.
I was like Shamet, Jordan,
that's about
Dinwiddie ain't gonna be back to
Green,
next year.
Green is gonna be.
Jeff Green is. Can you get him going? You know, you don't need these guys scoring 15, 20 points a night, but can you get him a good 5 to 10 points?
Come playoff time, he need one game where he score like 15 to 20.
You know what I'm saying? He just need a big game here. There, he needs to be feeling and able to get that type of game going. So just make sure that it's not the 3 of us feeling the need to go off at 30 or 40 every night. Get those other guys going too, and they going to rack up some W's. So I think it'll work out in the long run.
All right, I'm giving you 100%, man. Hey, A+.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute, boy. It's a good answer, though. You answer
been
good.
a minute.
You answer smartly and correctly. It's not difficult. All you got to do is give a intelligent, well thought out answer.
Trolling, bro. He's trolling. I'm not going.
All you gotta do is tell me what I want to hear. It's subjective, duh. Even if you don't agree with it.
Even if I'm wrong, you better tell me I'm right. So basically, what Josh is saying is, question of the day is much like talking to your significant other.
I was just gonna say, I know you had a girlfriend before.
You just gotta let them. If they are convinced that's what it is, you know what, baby, you're right. Just like the Cavs in the Nets game. Y'all got it. I'm gonna let you have it because I don't feel like hearing it. You got it. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's my question of the day is, took you this long to figure it out?
Josh is just the petty girlfriend of the show. Just so we're aware.
But don't lie, I gotta give you credit for some of your answers I didn't agree with.
Every now and then.
Yeah, logic.
Every now and then your girl does hype you up, but sometimes she just be a hater and they be like, no, you're wrong. So, moving on into the W.
Yeah. W. What we got?
I would like to start off with the Wubble documentary.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be good. It's gonna be. I'm excited to see. Well, maybe they need to do a bubble documentary too. NBA bubble.
I feel like they missed a huge opportunity. I feel like both of the bubble setups were a great time to do a documentary. With the way the players were having issues with their conditions, but for me, for the WNBA, it was more so how active they were.
Yeah.
As far as social justice is concerned, and political, agendas.
It's gonna be interesting how they, if they show them like preparing to talk about or like gathering to come up with the kind of protest that they came up with, getting the shirts together for Vote Warnock, stuff like that.
Right.
That kind of thing. That's gonna be interesting. I'm sure that's what a lot of the documentary is going to be, as well as them talking and just talking about what it was like living through the Wubble.
The thing for me, the bubble, the only reason I wouldn't be as interested is because it's a lot of bitching from the NBA players. It was just a lot of bitching. Yeah. I'm sad. I'm lonely.
For real.
I'm in a dark place. I'm always on my phone.
That's fact.
And I understand that. Welcome to
we didn't hear nothing about the
average American's quarantine life. Sorry. I don't know.
And you got to think, that was actually the WNBA's whole season.
That whole season.
That they did in the Wubble.
And not once did I hear about any of their stars, role players, coaches complaining about, I miss my family. I'm lonely. Social media, they bullying me.
100 days in here is tough.
We've been in here forever. I'm getting PTSD thinking about doing another one. Man, shut up. Okay? Shut up. So the Wubble, at least, there's actual, to me, there's more content. Because the Bubble, they did have some things that they tried to do as far as demonstrations. But the Bubble, it was consistent. It was nonstop. The T-shirts, the demonstrations, the just the cohesiveness between all the teams. You see they were on the same page. The Bubble, it wasn't always like that. So I feel like the Wubble doc has a lot to offer just as far as perspective.
And then regardless, it's also just the entire setup.
Yeah.
So of having to, room these women in. And also, you got to factor in the fact that they had their children with them, some of them, because they're the mom, and so they felt it necessary to include. At least if you have children, they come in there with you. Because I know Candace Parker's daughter was with her, and she's not the only one that got kids. So that's also another aspect you got to add into. So how they went into planning, that'll be all interesting. Hopefully, they include that stuff into the documentary. I'm excited for it.
And Dr. Parker, I just want to get your thoughts as well about your cousin, Candace Parker is big cousin, for real.
Yeah.
Your cousin.
Yeah, I was saying she was born in the state of stuff anyway. Anyway, no, I think it's a good point, especially when you talk about them not really complaining about being in the Wubble, because a lot of them play overseas during the off season anyway. So that's kind of a lifestyle that they're used to a little bit. And so, yeah, that makes it much different from what we saw in the NBA in terms of just the selfishness that was really going on. And really everyone was just more concerned with, what does this chip mean? Like, what when we come out of this bubble? It's just a totally different vibe from what the WNBA had going on.
That's true. That's a good point as well. People weren't as focused on that. They were just trying to, as far as the NBA, they was focused on who's going to get the ring. Is the ring tainted? Is it easier with the bubble?
Does it mean more? Does it mean less?
Yeah. So the WNBA was just like, all right,
I ain't even really hear nobody worried about, if we win, how important is it? Right. How legitimate is it? We was down here hooping and focused on social activism and what we can bring to the forefront of America's living rooms.
Yeah.
So
and to a certain extent, you can almost say that the NBA kind of didn't. Looking back on it, did they really complete the mission? Like, they, like you said, they made the stand. They set out when the shooting happened in Kenosha. Yeah. And they canceled the games, which that was a mega moment. And again, just like the coronavirus, again, we talked about how it impacted a lot of people, where throughout not just the basketball world, but in other ways. But other than that, like, you got to think about with the WNBA, they got the election. They also protested with the Kenosha shooting. But throughout the entire Wubble, they was constantly bringing up activism and protesting and those kind of things.
For sure.
Was interesting to see.
For sure. I'm very excited about that. Coming soon.
Yes, and, again, one of those things that came out of the Wubble that are probably got, because of the Wubble, we got a lot of media attention, was the fact that Kelly Loeffler was the owner of the Atlanta Dream. And now, at first she was talking about she wasn't going to sell the team, but we got some word that the sale of the team might be happening. We don't know exactly who. I don't believe. Did they say who's supposed to be buying? I didn't. When I saw that they're going to be reportedly selling the team, it didn't say who was going to be actually buying it. But we also had the news a couple weeks ago when LeBron said he was interested in buying a team. Carmelo, I think, agreed. Let's talk. And then also the one of the minority owners of the Warriors said he was interested in buying the team. So, what y'all think about that? Like, I think we're all excited about that.
Going back to the original Atlanta Dream ownership, one of my favorite artists used to go by the name of Teddy Pendergrass, and one of his beautiful choruses from one of his greatest hits. I think y'all know what I'm going with. I think I better let it go. And I'm glad they decided to go ahead and let it go, because they wanted your ass up out of there. Ain't no point in even holding on to that team. Go ahead.
What's that spray I said a couple weeks ago? What's the spray? That bitch be go. That's what I'm talking about. Just shake it up like a spray can, like a paint spray. Bitch be gone. That's all you gotta do. You gotta be up out of there. You know what I'm saying?
You see what happens when you got the league, ladies and gentlemen. I take it here, and Josh says, "You know what? No, that ain't enough.
You guys do it to him.
Meet me up here," and he just take it to him.
So the sooner we get her out, the better, cause she ain't about shiggity.
So you gon', but you ain't gonna say. So Adrian, how do you feel about LeBron, Warriors minority owners, and potentially Melo getting in on a deal to kind of buy out this team? Free the Atlanta Dream, man.
Yeah, I see it as LeBron kind of setting up his after for basketball. Sure, he may want to stay around for Bronny, but in terms of what he really wants to do, he wants to own an NBA franchise. He said it multiple times. I think Carmelo fits right into that group. I think Chris Paul may fit right into that
Tell
group.
me the banana boat need to jump in on this.
Right, Dwayne Wade is already out, right? So he's already seen the other side while everyone else is still playing. So I think it's a great opportunity for
You
all
ain't
of
gotta
them.
say it like that. He retired on his own. He retired on his own court. Don't say he out. Like he decided to let
His
it go.
knees decided it was time.
Hey now.
His knees was like, hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you like this.
I mean, cut you off. Go ahead.
Either you can walk away or you can crawl away. Because I ain't finna keep on up.
Yeah, so I think it's a great opportunity
First
for them
team
to set
all
up
ACL.
what comes after, and the fact that they're even talking about it, the fact that they even are trying to continue the legacy that Kobe kind of started in terms of bringing attention to the WNBA. I think is really big of them, and I may not like LeBron on the court, but off the court he's one of the
That's what
realest
all
people
the
out
LeBron
there.
haters saying now. They gotta say that. They gotta preference that. I mean, I don't like LeBron, but I mean, I like LeBron.
As a
off
humanitarian
the
and a
court.
philanthropist,
He
you
great.
know what I'm saying? I can't
But
say.
man, on the court, man, I don't like LeBron. That's what everybody say now.
I
respect
get it.
though. I respect it.
I respect it. I respect that you can at least acknowledge what he's doing off the court.
Yeah.
Because some people's goats ain't really about nothing off the court, but we're not really gonna get into all of that.
Ooh.
Will LeBron be a better owner than never mind. Moving on.
Hey, Nas said Jordan do much off the court. You just don't hear about it. That's what Nas said. Hey, boy, they do. He said they do the same amount.
You know who he do it for? The people that look like Sling Studio.
That's not true. No. He said, "Dude, they do it just about for the black community." I don't know. It's just
Yeah, no, he released.
That's what Nas said in his song.
He put some heat out every week, so he does a lot for the black community.
Oh my god. Oh man. Yeah.
Keep my feet looking good. Matter of fact,
got
I got some Jordans on right
Yeah.
now. I got it on.
Even when you hating, he looking at you like, yeah, I know.
I got that check
$160
though.
on your feet.
I got that check.
That's all me.
Yeah. So, hey, I ain't mad at it. But no, I just we wanted to bring attention to that. We've been talking about that issue even back when the Wubble was going on. That that was something that the ladies were advocating for. Then moving on to the election that happened a couple weeks ago, and not the 18th results of the presidential election. I'm talking about the ones where they got what's the name?
Oh yeah, Warnock and Ossoff.
Yeah. They. She was already halfway up out of there, so go ahead and get her fully out the picture, as Josh wanted to allude to. You might need to shake it up a little bit more. Moving on to the NBA, man. We still gonna be focusing on women within sports.
Yeah.
But this is actually pertaining to the NBA in itself.
I think this is the most exciting story that we have.
This is huge. Now let me pull it up real quick because I want to make sure I get these ladies' names right. You know you want to put some respect on it. All right. So what I'm about to tell you is we just had a young lady get promoted to be a GM of a G League affiliate of the NBA, and she joins one other young lady to be the only two women that are GMs of G League teams. So the Washington Wizards promoted Amber Nichols to be general manager of their G League affiliate, the Capital City Go-Go.
Mm-hmm.
And she joins Tori Miller, who is the GM of the Atlanta Hawks affiliate, the College Park Skyhawks. And like I said, they are the only two women to serve as GMs in the G League.
This is exciting because not only is this we finally seeing women get this leadership role, regardless of the level of the sport, but we already know what's happening to the G League. We already know what's happening to the basketball world. This is the beginning, and to see them already have these positions. So these women are going to be making the decisions to be grabbing these high school players coming out of high school. They're going to have the option to pick which one they want most.
Yeah.
And if they make the right decisions, they're like,
you're fostering the next wave.
Exactly. So you're going to have these teams where we begin to see the future. We begin to see the future, and we also, that's what I had. we begin to see the future and see and just see their ability to pick out talent,
For sure.
which will eventually lead them into obviously getting a professional position.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because if they can pick out the high school players, eventually, if the draft is going to be, they're going to start laughing high school
if you're
players.
really building a good brand on the G League level, it's only going to be so long before teams are already starting to look at Becky Hammond as a viable option as a head coach.
Yeah.
So if you're starting to do that on the G League level as a GM, and you're looking like,
Yes.
dang, like she's really putting a really solid squad together.
Yes.
That's our crop of talent when we need to call people up if we got injuries or we want to bring in some fresh talent. We might need to look at hiring her as a GM or putting her in our front office, even if not in the GM chair, just being a part of our basketball operations.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's huge because, a lot of people could look at it and be like, oh, it's the G League, because the G League wasn't getting respected. A couple years ago, the G League wasn't getting its proper respect, you know what I'm saying? But now that's huge.
That's huge. Have you seen college basketball recently?
G League what was it? Kentucky, Duke, and I think UNC just went unranked for the first time, and it's a rough year for college basketball, needless to say. But the G League is that wave, and it's a lot of people coming out of high school that are looking to go straight to the G League, or you got those college basketball players that, they just didn't get that breakthrough they were expecting. They didn't go straight to the league. The G League is a viable option now. We're going to pay you. You can come straight here after high school, or if it's not working out getting into the league, you can come see us. And to see these women put in positions of power to me is really huge. Adrian, what's your take on it, man?
Yeah, I think it diversifies the field, right? So I think it's going to raise the level of basketball in general, because now you really got to be on your P's and Q's, right? Because it's just that many more candidates out there. So you really going to have to bring it if you want a job on one of these teams, and you're not going to see the same recycled GMs with maybe one or two new ones sprinkled in. I think it really opens things up. So I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Darius said Caruso came from the G League. Pat Bev came from the G League.
Seth many Curry players spent forever in the G League.
Seth Curry came from the G League. Yeah. So many players came from the G League. So
it's so much talent. It's so much going on there that some people I think only in the last 2 years now that they've last 3-4 years now that they've branded themselves as the G League, not the D League, are more people really paying attention to it. It's gaining more traction. But there's so much just talent waiting to burst onto the scene and get their main, get that call up on the NBA level. And also, I don't care if you want to call it bias, but you know how we feel at the Straight Talk podcast. I, for one, am excited not only to see women getting this opportunity, but black women. That's huge. Because a lot of times we feel like, black people, you can get almost any position, but it's like a cap on it. We ain't going to let you do that.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
Stop right there.
So to give them the GM chair, to me, that's really huge. Shout out to those two young ladies, man. That's phenomenal. Congratulations to them and their families.
It gives us something to look for, to see, again, in the next couple of years, we're going to be seeing more and more high school students go to the G League. So it almost might be like watching college basketball, or let's check out the G League game. Let's check out the potential draft picks for next year's draft.
Something else you got to look at too: all the doors that have just been opened for young women, especially young black women. Man, you're looking now. Your vice president looks like you. You've got GMs in the G League that look like you, and there's plenty of women that are hoopers. There are plenty of women that are hoopers. And it maybe didn't work out for them. And now being able to see people like me are getting these chances to still be effective in the league, even if they didn't get to go and play. So it's just huge, and I think it's amazing. Shout out to all the young ladies. And go chase your dreams.
Do we want to let the producer say something to this?
No.
You
I'm
sure?
just so happy.
Yeah, you gotta be happy. People like our producer see this as an opportunity to allow themselves to get into the professional sports with what they want to do behind the scenes, not necessarily on the court. So it definitely, if you see what we're really looking at right now, it definitely has an effect to see women get positions of power. Again, no matter what level that we're talking about.
For sure.
I'm straight.
No matter what level we're talking about. So, like I said, that was probably the dopest topic of the night.
I was really looking forward to that. Shout out to Darius. She brought that to my attention earlier this week, sent it to me. So I was really looking forward to speaking on that.
Yeah.
Now we are getting fully into the league that you are always trying to jump in their games and everything. Just had to jump on our soapbox a little bit, share some love for the ladies, let you know what's really going on out there. But Harden bamboozled us. Let's talk about it. 'Cause that man, was built. He was built like a beer barrel.
And now, what is just last week was called a Mark Henry?
Yeah. and this man came out first night Brooklyn Nets practice looking like this. He popped one of them Dr. Doolittle pills. He just had the opposite one. I'm telling you. He said, "I'm gonna turn into Professor Clump real quick. I'm finna make them trade me. I'm out of shape. I'm not scoring 20 no more."
He obviously, I think when he was in Houston, he was wearing a couple shirts. He doubled up or tripled up or quadrupled up on the shirts. Obviously,
he had on a medium, a large, extra large, and a 2X.
Yeah, but
on top of another medium large.
And then in the picture in Brooklyn, it was just one shirt. It was one shirt. But if we're being honest, he's still overweight. Like if you really look at him, if you see him on the court, he's not in shape.
To me,
so I think he might have been putting on the show. Cause even I remember I had an argument with my brother. And I showed him the first picture
in the bubble.
So
many people made his stomach even bigger.
When he was fat, and then he showed me while he was in Houston another picture of him on one shirt where he slimmed up. And then the most recent one, I was like, okay, he must have picked the weight back up. And then so no, he's just double up on a shirt. He was trying to obviously get traded,
right?
But still, with that being said, he's still overweight. Like he's not in shape. If you see him on the court, he's still got that gut, that beer belly. Them henny wings and
I love him.
All that. He still got that on his good.
I personally feel like James Harden is just built like that at this point, because like year after year, like he's strong as hell. Clearly, even when he does seem in shape, he still looks a little big. I think he's just a stocky dude. Like he a running back at heart.
I don't know about that.
I'm trying to cut him some slack.
What's the difference between being heavy set, but you in shape? But not being heavy set, you just got a beer gut. Beer gut.
What kind of beer you drink?
Beer belly.
What kind of beer goes straight to your booty? I've been drinking that Miller Lite, I'm a little thick.
Sick back here.
Been drinking a whole lot of Dos Equis.
got that. That's what Kyle Lowry got.
Hey.
Kyle Lowry, a little fat ass boy.
Oh my god.
Anyway, AP.
What is going on?
What you think about James Harden?
I don't really know what to make of how he goes up and down in the weight scale. I mean, it's pretty insane to watch. Like he's warming up pregame and you like, that man is not in shape.
It's water weight. It's gotta be, right?
Water weight, bro.
I've never seen so much water weight in my life.
Water weight don't stay around for weeks, bro. Water weight go away after a day.
Tip-off start and he sweats it out. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what's going on.
It's a big man. It's a big man.
I agree with what you were saying, kind of with them playing chess and not checkers, though. Something ain't right in the Kool-Aid. That's all I'm saying.
He got fat. Kyrie disappeared. I'm giving you motivation, Houston, to trade me. I'm fat. I'm not performing to what you think I am. I keep saying everybody sucks here. We're not good enough. Kyrie I'm going to take 2 weeks away from basketball. So Houston was like, we don't want nobody but Kevin or Kyrie back. Well, shoot. Kyrie is doing Kyrie things. I'm not going to trade for Kyrie, and I know damn well they ain't going to give me Kevin if Kyrie is doing this. So give us a couple bags of chips, call some other teams, we'll figure something out, and circle it around. They was playing chess, bro.
Yeah, they might have been.
They was playing chess, because Kyrie was like, James, it's official. Shit, I'm on the way. I'm on the way, man. Let me take this last little COVID test. I'll be there in a minute, man. And then came back and was hooping. He was hooping.
Yeah, I think two things, two opportunities have presented themselves. One, I think this is Steve Nash's chance to like really put his identity on his team in terms of their defense. A lot of us know that he came from D'Antoni's 7 seconds offense. So I think right now is the chance for him to really like mold himself in terms of I'm more than just that. Mm-hmm. And then I think it's a chance for Kevin Durant to step up. Like, sure, James may be playing point. Kyrie can score, sure, but I think it's a chance for Kevin Durant to really like, hey, y'all need to like be on y'all stuff.
You think he can be the LeBron of this team? He can.
Well, I don't know that he can. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for him to try, but he already said he's not that guy. He said it when he was when he moved to the Warriors. He was like, I don't want to be the leader. I don't.
None of them.
I just want to go and do it. But I think it's a chance. I think he needs to step up.
Got you. Understandable. And while we still talking about the Nets, and I still want to get back into that some more, just want to throw out that Kyrie is actually back too. I'm sure by now you are aware of that situation. He played his first game back last night. And, just a quick mention, honorable mention for Petty Betty this week was almost Colin Sexton. You know whose shoes Colin Sexton was wearing when he was hooping last night? Kyrie's. You know whose number he wearing? Kyrie's old Cleveland number. You know who they had a tribute video for to start that game? Kyrie, and he cooked that whole night. He cooked. He hit one dead in Kyrie's face. Splack.
I just want to comment on what AP said. If the Nets are weighing on Steve Nash giving them some defense ability, they're in trouble. Steve Nash
and D'Antoni is your assistant coach.
This
is not set up. The defense is what lost them that game.
Yeah.
Aside from saying, you know what, y'all got it retired, there wasn't enough defense played.
But what did you think about the Brooklyn? This is my question today. I'm asking you now. Well, what are their chances this season as far as in longevity is after the season?
Yeah, I wanted to be a hater. As y'all clearly know from the group chat, I want to be a hater. They not making it. But I mean, they got too much talent. You can give 3 people the ball and they can go get a bucket. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
It's just too many buckets. That's my only
it's a
anytime
lot of
I watch them, that's the first thing I say. It's just too many buckets, bro.
Every single one of them can go off for 40, 50,
60.
any given moment, 60 easily.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard. And then, this is like, people want to compare it to the Clay, Steph, KD, but this is different because
Way different.
Neither Kyrie or Harden are like a spot up. I don't need to take no dribbles. Like Clay can get you 60 off of no dribbles for real. But these are all 3 people that can create. They can kill you inside. They can finish at the cup. They can kill you outside. They get to the stripe.
Yeah.
They can shoot from 30 feet out. I mean, what do I do?
Yeah.
So that's a 3-headed monster, man. It's scary hours.
So I'm gonna let you continue, but while we got Cam here, who's the point guard again?
Definitely James Harden.
James Harden is playing point.
Again, the way that Christian Wood addressed Shaq last week, Cam is a casual. As much as we all love Cam, he don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's a casual. He don't really watch these games. He don't know nothing. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. Talking about Kyrie can't play the shooting guard. He can be in the point guard slot, but he's definitely the shooting guard on this team. I mean, LeBron was the small forward, and what was he doing in Cleveland? He was the point guard.
The small forward, the center, the power forward.
He was,
but the point guard all at the same time.
Ben Simmons should easily be the power forward on some teams, maybe even the center. And what does he play? The point guard. So don't play yourself and think just because I am at the PG slot, I am the point guard. No, you're not.
So it's a lot of buckets, but do they have, is it obviously championship or bust, but what are their chances? What do you feel like? What do you think?
It's a lot of buckets, but again, like we saw last night, they only got 10 points from their bench. And that is a big hole. It's a big hole because your bench needs to at least have one game. We've seen it. We've watched finals. We've watched so many playoffs. Like, your bench needs to go off at least once or twice throughout the playoffs. So if you only got 10 out of your bench, that's not looking too hot. Not to mention, I don't know, when DeAndre Jordan goes to the bench, they kind of open on the inside. So that leaves space for Embiid to operate as long as he stays out of foul trouble. That leaves space for other big men, right? Like Tristan Thompson may not be an offensive force, but he's going to board up and he's going to get a couple putback dunks. So
it's a lot of teams out here with a good big. And my thing is, just what I talked to Josh about, you meet the Lakers, who guards AD? Who's going to stop AD? You played Cleveland. Who's going to stop JaVale and Drummond and Allen? You don't have the size.
Yeah.
KD can't play center and try to score 30. So they got to figure something out. I don't know if you have the roster spots available, but you need to go ahead and call J.R. Smith. Go ahead and call Jamal Crawford. Go ahead and call somebody big that ain't doing nothing. They just need a spot at this point. Like, you need somebody down there. You traded all of your interior size. You traded all of your depth. Your other best bench player got hurt like a scrub. It's not Spencer's fault, but you're a scrub. It's not looking good for them if you can't get a bench. Y'all can all get 50 together every night, but you can't keep that up forever.
It's just too many buckets. I'm sorry.
You think?
I think it's wraps. I'm sorry. It's wraps on the season. I think so. It's a lot of buckets.
Far from
You think just like that?
It's not. I'm being a little hyperbole.
You're telling me
hyperbole.
You're telling me they're gonna be okay defending my MVP frontrunner Joel Embiid in a 7-game series?
Yeah, they'll be right.
You have
He can't keep up with this.
okay.
Well, are the Lakers a shoe-in on the opposite
Studio
side?
audience, pull up your whiteboard for me and write that Josh is just calling that it's over for us. The Nets have won. And we can come back to it knowing that I said that was totally false. But we're going to let him have it, as he mentioned in the start of the show. And we're just going to move forward to a commercial break.
I think, yeah. Commercial break. I'm not worried about Embiid. I'm not. He ain't idiot.
No,
same thing. We still talk about it. Same thing. Chuck said the same thing. If they had already won championships,
what you gonna do when you meet the Hawks?
If Embiid and Giannis had already shown that they can
25.
at least make it to the finals, then it would be a different story. They ain't shown that yet. Playoff time. Not saying that they fold, but they ain't shown the ability to get through the playoffs.
What you gonna do against Bam Adebayo?
It don't matter.
What you gonna do against Joel Embiid?
They're going to score.
What you gonna do with Nikola Vucevic, who still killed them
the Warriors' best lineup didn't have a center in it. It don't matter. Anytime
they could do that because they had 4 All NBA, All Star, Olympic level players in their starting lineup.
So now, is Draymond Green an All NBA scorer? They
I didn't say scorer.
Exactly. No,
I didn't say scorer.
Draymond Green, yeah, he's an All Star caliber player. But they still only had 3 bucket getters on the team. They only had 3 bucket getters on the team.
And then they had a blue guy in the middle that's defending everybody and facilitating the offense while the other ones are hot.
Yeah, Jeff Green. Let's stop.
Did you see the like?
Nah,
go ahead.
I'm reaching a little bit, but
we've seen that mindset though of like we just need to outscore them. We've seen it with D'Antoni for the last however many years.
They definitely need to play defense, but I think we can't judge that on the first game with them all 3 men together. Like I think KD has the ability to play defense. Harden has the ability to play defense. He just got to put in the effort.
He plays really well off ball defense.
Kyrie can play off-ball defense. I think Joe Harris and Jeff Green, and they still have DeAndre Jordan on the team. Like
DeAndre Jordan's 36.
Defense. LeBron James is 36.
Yeah, LeBron is LeBron. DeAndre is not Lob City DeAndre.
I understand that, but he's
still not
capable.
Defensive Player of the Year level
he's still
DeAndre
capable
Jordan.
of playing
like he was
defense.
5-6 years
ago. Is DeAndre Jordan?
Everybody's capable.
Listen, DeAndre Jordan, Andrew Bogut, DeAndre Jordan, JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard. It's all the same. Like he's to that.
If I'm that Nets team,
he's
I
not
would
playing the whole
definitely
game.
He's not playing the whole game. JaVale,
who's his
Dwight,
backup?
Bogut, JaVale. I said JaVale twice. They're not. They didn't play the whole game. They have. I mean, don't get me wrong. They could use some depth. But I just think, as we talking about the team that they have now, I think they'll be able to, like, a lack of the depth of the team that they have, I think it's just enough.
I don't think you can pass up that lack of depth.
Like
it's only going to get you so far. First round is probably going to be a wash.
Didn't have a center on the team. They had big 3. Didn't have a center on the team. Joel Anthony's a center that we need to
Joel Anthony barely touched the floor.
No, the first season he played. When they lost to the Mavs. Yeah, they lost to the Mavs.
Exactly.
I'm saying,
what you saying? What you saying?
They lost to the final. Okay.
Okay.
Still, they made it to that far with Joel Anthony. Like the loss, the not having a center.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Obviously, they can make it that far without having.
You had somebody with size in Bosh, who is still like. I mean, you had
KD is 7 feet.
But my thing is, KD isn't doing the same things like Bosh or Kevin Love were doing, or even like a Draymond is doing. KD is out here with it all day. That's not your interior size or your defense. You're not getting that incredible block from any of them like Chris Bosh did to give it out to Ray Allen and save the day.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he was guarding the center on the Warriors at times.
At times,
okay.
But it was also
this is
the
assuming
Warriors,
they all stay healthy.
Because Kyrie is known to
I
crumble.
assume we got y'all stay
Kyrie's
healthy.
known to crumble.
Yeah, I'm just saying at any given point.
Harden is known to mentally
I
crumble.
mean, we also got to assume Joel Embiid's got to stay healthy.
That's true, but I'm just saying in terms of the depth on this team, which they don't have, if KD or Kyrie or James, as he's playing point guard, goes out, that's it for
Landry
them.
Shamet is next man up. Do you trust Landry Shamet to take over? You trust Joe Harris to really get high and help out?
Why? I feel like y'all. This is a defense. Like, no, we obviously this is barring any injuries at
But I'm
any
saying-
point in the playoffs.
I should be able to say, you know what, even if we get injured, we do have this person that can step up. I can't say that with them.
No, I can't say that. I couldn't say that with the Warriors. We lost to the Raptors in the finals, who were a better team with KD.
You had two.
We lost.
Well, obviously, if you have two people get injured who are your all NBA, like
We were down
In the
3-1 without KD, with Clay on the floor. We lost. So
you're not helping
obviously,
yourself.
I am helping myself. So if I were to pick I would have picked the Warriors. Like, we're not. I'm talking about as far as this conversation. Why are we including?
You have to put all
injuries?
variables. All variables. On the
Okay,
table.
yeah, you have to include all variables, but why bring that up now?
Because if KD is your defensive stopper,
And he's out.
But the Warriors, what I'm saying is the Warriors so-called had depth. They made it to the championship, but they had you guys argue. You never argue that they didn't have depth or not, right? Depth. You argue that they never had depth, but once KD went down, so what I'm saying is, regardless of what team is, if KD go down, it's gonna make them a lot worse. That's all I'm saying. So you'll include that in your argument,
here's what I'm
and
leaving for you.
it doesn't have any value because the lack of depth. If KD go down on a team with a lot of depth or lack of depth, they're not going to be able to win.
Here's what
That's
I'm
my
saying.
point.
Here's what I'm saying to you.
In so many words.
At the end of the day, here's what I'm saying to you. You're damn wrong. And I'm gonna let you have it there because the Nets don't have it, bro. They don't have
But
enough.
it doesn't matter. The Warriors had depth and they still lost. That's my point.
You had Kawhi. What would you call him? Kawhi Jordan last year?
Okay,
Of course.
but they
Of
had
course.
depth and
Everybody
we
was
still
gonna
lost.
lose to Kawhi.
No,
Everybody. Didn't he watch the whole
not if
Eastern
we had
Conference?
KD.
If
That's my point.
you're wrong. That's what I'm leaving.
No, you guys are wrong. That doesn't make sense.
They don't have
Why?
anybody, bro. The Warriors had depth and lost. The Nets don't have depth. So what the hell are they gonna do?
If they lose KD, they're gonna lose. But if they got KD, they're gonna have it. They're gonna have it.
They don't have it.
We gonna see. Man.
There's so many big men options that you have to worry about.
okay, well, I don't think
Who's going to guard them?
it's very early in the season. Let's acknowledge that they only played one game together. I haven't seen.
Dinwiddie's injured, Antoine.
I haven't seen
Just for the
them.
record, he's not playing until next year.
I haven't seen them be a great team. Let me say that. And so we'll see in terms of coaching. We'll see what Steve Nash brings to the table. We'll see when they really start getting some plays and it's not hero ball, right? We all know that ain't the greatest thing we saw in OKC.
You didn't have to go there.
We've seen it in a lot of places, right? So if you're a good team,
Yeah, no reason to prevent that, man. Really, you just want to open old scars. Roll up that thunder pack because it's loud city.
we've seen that teams can win, right? Like, sure, the Raptors had Kyrie Jordan, but they also knew their roles. They also knew what they were supposed to be doing, et cetera, et cetera. If it's just we letting Harden dictate who gets the ball, when they get the ball, that's a lot different from being a team.
I agree with that, but I think they're gonna be able to figure it out.
I respectfully think you're wrong, and that's fine. We can agree to disagree. You can be wrong in peace.
We'll see.
I'll allow it.
And then once I'm right, we're gonna play this clip.
I ain't never wrong. I don't know what y'all talking about. She don't know nothing. She just talks to a bunch of stupid. She don't know nothing. It's Josh right now. Anyway, man, look. What we need to do, your computer's trash. Literal dog water, so free. Yeah. I'm just gonna pull it up on my phone. We need to take a look at the NBA standings because I'm gonna let you have it. But we're gonna move on and just take a quick look at the standings.
Yeah, we was gonna look at the standings, give an update a little bit, talk about the teams that maybe interesting to look for, like the Cavs, maybe like he was talking about last week. Even though they still
sixth.
Oh man, they jumped up.
And realistically,
7-7.
6 through 12 are within a game of each other.
Who's the top 4 guy? Philly,
got
Bucks,
Philly.
Celtics, and Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
No shocks there, I don't believe. Philly being at the top is probably the biggest surprise.
Is it?
Yeah, just last season we was talking about blowing. Just not even 6 months ago we was talking about blowing up.
Maybe Doc Rivers isn't that bad of a coach. Maybe Paul George and Kawhi were the problem, or Chris Paul and Paul Pierce were the problem.
No, because it's not playoff yet.
Or the several other elite squads that he's had were the problem. Maybe it's not Doc Rivers. Coming soon, we will find out that
I still think Doc Rivers is overrated.
He's a fluke. We'll find that out soon.
Yeah.
But so far, it's looking really good for them. The Nets are, of course, only going to get better. They're sitting at 5th at 9-7. Cavs are behind them at 7-7. Hawks are heating up. Trae Young is starting to really look good again. Knicks are hanging around. Magic hanging around. The Heat have been missing their best players for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
The Hornets are hanging in there.
I like that Bulls team.
The Bulls team is hanging around, and the Raptors are still dog water, but they're working.
The Raptors?
Yeah. The Wizards haven't played a game in 2 or 3 weeks. They keep getting postponed. And the Pistons are just dog water. Blake Griffin is absolutely washed at this point. No, he's been horrible. I looked at the stat of his games over the last, it's bad. It's bad. Moving out west.
I warned you about that 7 years ago.
7 years ago, he was still okay, but now he truly is dog water. I'll give that to you now. You were ahead.
Looking at the West, got the Jazz at number 3.
The Clippers are leading, but they have the same record as the Lakers. So whatever, that's a toss-up at 11-4. Jazz are 3. The Suns slowed down a little bit. They're at the 4 spot. Shut up. Warriors are at 5.
Yeah.
Here's what pisses me off about the Warriors, and it's not at all their fault.
Don't get mad.
You're getting washed by teams that are good, and these teams in the first quarter are like, man, we are waxing y'all. Let's just take our foot off the gas. Oh, wait.
Heart.
We still have Stephen Curry and players that aren't
heart.
bad.
No, we just got heart.
The Warriors really aren't that bad, and then you act like Steph can't heat up and drop 50 when needed. So why are you slowing down when you get up 20? That Lakers game was the most infuriating thing I think I've seen.
Man, we got heart, bro.
That was maximum. That was all you can eat.
That wasn't them giving up. That was us starting to play.
No, I feel like first quarter they slowed down because the league got so big. Second quarter they were still like, whatever.
It was a 5-point game at one point in the second quarter.
Second half, they just went to BOGO, clearance, everything. It's a big old sale going on. You can just have whatever bucket you want. I'm not slowing you down. It was abysmal, really. So the Warriors are still gonna hang around. They got enough
heart, man. That's the Oakland heart.
Speaking of Oakland heart, Damian Lillard and the Trailblazers are hanging around at 6. Grizzlies are at 7. They got Ja Morant back, by the way. Spurs at 8. The Nuggets, Mavs, and Thunder are actually still hanging around in there. And the Rockets are still dog water. Also, you remember Harden was saying we're just not good enough. People were talking about chemistry. And then his first win with the Nets, he was like, well, when you have really good players, building chemistry is easy. Why are you still doing that, bro? You're already gone. You don't have to go there. But they are dog water. It's unfortunate.
So, what do you think about the standings so far, AP?
Spurs at 8. Yeah, go Spurs, go.
How you
Who picked up LaMarcus
Spurs?
Aldridge? Did you pick up LaMarcus Aldridge?
I did pick up LaMarcus Aldridge.
Has he been producing well for you?
He's
We're also going against each other this week in fantasy, by the way.
It's true.
I snuck back into it because he didn't start Colin Sexton last night.
It's okay. My team's better. Anyway.
They really are. They really are. His team is like a god squad. May the best man win. So those Spurs.
Of role players, might I add.
Yeah.
Of people like Julius Randle. Anyway, so so I like how the Spurs look. We are a new look team. We are the youngest we've been in a very long time, and they are getting out. They running. They shooting threes. They look like a modern.
Didn't they get watched last night?
They did by the Warriors. It's fine.
Let's go.
They still have Steph
Mop
Curry.
the floor up
It's
with them.
fine.
Really
Beat them
good.
like we stole something, boy. Beat them like we stole something.
Yeah.
I don't want the problems.
I only want the Warriors to do well because James Wiseman is on my fantasy team, quite frankly. And I also really like watching Draymond coach him and encourage him. Other than that, I hope the Warriors lose every game they
Can
ever
we
play.
speak
for
on
the
that?
rest
How
of
do
the
you think James Wiseman feels like as a player? Like every game, he's got to see himself on Instagram like being coached like that. Like I feel like if that was me, I'm like, okay, guys, we get it.
Yeah, like,
I don't know what
he's my OG on this team. Like, okay, we don't have to go over
I think this
every
is
game.
the most we've seen that ever by one like.
It's annoying, and it's only because it's Draymond and because he's the number one pick. So they feel the need to keep harping on it. But like, okay, like it's
a little much.
He's having a master class with Draymond Green. Dude, shut up. Every single game.
Here's Draymond coaching up Wiseman again. I'm like, okay, guys.
You can only comment on that so many times. Like, shut up, please. It's not that big.
But go ahead. About Spurs.
They run out of storylines.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's an interesting question. If the Lakers are showing, I mean, everybody's assuming that it's Lakers Brooklyn, and I think it should be opened up. I don't know that the Lakers are going back-to-back finals.
Okay.
Who's going to stop? Okay, hold on. Chat's back on.
I had some people catching up on comments. Sorry, y'all. My chat was frozen on the computer.
Let's go Celtics. Yeah. All right. I mean, no. Let's go Celtics. They're a viable option.
What was that?
I just had to really refresh myself.
We always root for Jason Tatum.
So hit that little baby.
So I think the thing I got about the Lakers is they got the championship pedigree now. My thing is from last year they actually got so much better as far as the players that they got on the team. The Lakers.
Yeah.
So that's why it's kind of hard to pick against them for like, okay, you won a championship, even though you kind of dodged the Clippers in my opinion. But you won a championship now, the entire team has that kind of pedigree, and you got better, you added even more players. Dennis Schroeder was cooking the Warriors on Monday. So he's a good pickup.
You have Dennis Schroeder and Montrezl Harrell, top 2 in Sixth Man of the Year, and they were both going crazy on the Warriors, and nobody else was doing anything. We're supposed to lead the bench. Everything else is up to y'all. Y'all not helping.
Excuse me, this is his time.
I'm sorry, that just blew my mind.
So who do you think will really challenge the Lakers this year?
I don't know. I mean, the obvious pick would be the Clippers.
You know.
But
Pandemic P, you really think?
Well, no, not necessarily him. But if Kawhi can play the way he played 2 years ago, even close to it, because to me, he kind of just gave up last year. He was kind of like,
He was like,
I don't have to win.
I have a pretty good resume.
That's true.
2 DPOIs,
yeah,
2
like,
finals
you know what I'm
MVPs.
saying? Like, I don't have to win. This bubble has been hard. He over here in a depression. Like, I don't have to necessarily do this again. Just right off in this first year. So I think there's that. I think the Jazz are frauds. I think they're going to fall big time in the standings. I cannot stand them.
Yeah.
I want Portland to blow it up. It's not that Dame and CJ aren't good. It's just they not good enough together.
Let's talk about
I saw your tweet.
Yeah, I seen the tweet too.
Saying
Let's talk about that. I think
saying it's a backcourt better than us.
What you mean? What you
No,
mean?
you were insinuating that the Wizards had a better backcourt than us.
You don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I
really
was
don't
funny.
know what you're
I wanted to
talking
give you some crazy look. That's what Dame told a reporter like last week when him and CJ was going crazy. And one of the reporters tried to say something to him. He was like, I saw your tweet. You said, somebody said, they might have the best backcourt. And dude was like, the Wizards? I saw your tweet. You said somebody might be better than us. And he just stared at him.
He just nodded his head.
He was like, oh.
They're great. They're good
They
players.
should blow it up.
They're great, but they can't do it together.
I think they need
Also,
a new coach.
Nurkic just got hurt again.
I think they need a new coach.
Also that.
And they need somebody.
Terry Stotts should have been gone.
They need a Draymond Green on the team. If they had
Damian
Draymond
Lillard
Green,
apparently really is pushing for a
somebody. If they had somebody like Draymond Green, they would be a so much better team. 'Cause they just don't play defense. I think.
No, they really need like a talker.
They
like
do need
a,
a talker.
like
But
a
I don't know,
Rashard
does PJ Tucker-
Rasheed Wallace, sorry.
Does PJ Tucker talk on defense like that, or does he just play good defense? Like I view Draymond as more of like a center of the defense, calling out all the stuff. But PJ Tucker, I just feel like he's a great defender. There's a difference.
No, I was just talking shit.
Oh, okay.
I want him on the Heat anyway. But moving forward, man, listen, the standings, we shall see how they work out. I think a lot of teams are really going to fall and disappoint us in the long run. I don't see the Jazz sticking around. Memphis, I'm sorry, I don't see them sticking around. But we shall see.
Cam said Memphis is gonna make a lot of noise.
Yeah, and I just don't see it. I think Memphis
I don't think
Memphis
they're
still
gonna make
has
playoffs this
time.
year.
Memphis still has time.
They're
So
not gonna make
why
playoffs this year.
why even put that type of pressure and expectation on them? If I'm Memphis, like, what do you really want to make the playoffs for? Just to say we did it? Because you're not going to go anywhere.
Experience.
I didn't pick Memphis.
Experience for what?
No.
So you can get waxed? That's not experience. That's hurting your pride. I watched a young Oklahoma City team where we're all in our 20s and we just got thraxed. It wasn't a good feeling for those players.
I don't know. I guess you really got to ask AD about that, right? Like in terms of like I'm making the playoffs, but we ain't really doing nothing. But do
I'm
you
telling
really
you,
want to
the
be
year-
home early?
The year they had Boogie, if it weren't for that freak Achilles accident, we might have seen something special happen. Hurts to think about. Moving on to our favorite segment, Petty Betty
Petty Betty of the week.
of the week.
Who's the Petty Betty of this week? Rip?
I am going to go with the fan favorite here. And I guarantee you gonna like this.
I
pick.
love that. I love my Chuck. I love Charles Barkley.
Guarantee.
He controversial, but I still love him.
Charles
He be
Barkley.
saying some stupid stuff sometimes.
Charles Barkley is the funniest man on television as
No,
far as
no,
I'm
no, no, no,
concerned.
no, 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 no. Oh, hell no. Hell no. I ain't forgot about this conversation with you and you. Yeah, y'all don't remember.
What
Y'all-
happened?
Y'all don't remember the little, so there was a meme I was out. This was probably 2 summers ago, 1 or 2 summers ago. This is, no, it's 2019, summer 2019. They had the little memes where they had all these lunch tables and they had media personalities at lunch tables.
Oh yeah.
And I picked the personality with, I picked the lunch table with Chuck, Shaq, and Kenny.
Who
I
did
picked,
pick?
y'all might have picked them.
Were they really
I
together?
probably picked them.
No,
No,
I think
they had to be scrambled. There's no
y'all-
way they would have left them together.
No, they had, it was Kenny, Shaq might not have been on it, but it was Shaq, Kenny, and somebody
I
else.
know I picked that table in.
Y'all picked the one, somebody, Cam and him, and AP picked the one with Shannon Sharp and some other people. But that's not even my beef with y'all. That's not my beef.
Right, okay.
My beef, when I was like, I'm picking the table with, I'm pretty sure it was Chuck, Shaq, and Kenny at the table. It was those 3 at the table. I picked them, and y'all was like, man, I gotta pick that table because Shaq and Chuck are gonna be hilarious. And y'all was like, him, AP especially, he was like, man, Charles Barkley not even that funny.
I know I ain't say that.
You didn't say it, but I know Adrian definitely was like, Charles
I need to
Barkley
know
not
who else
even
was
that
at the
funny.
table.
No, you said Charles Barkley wasn't that
I need
funny.
to know who else at the table.
You said Charles Barkley wasn't that funny. That's
Well,
all I
he-
gotta say. Now y'all.
I stand by. I ain't even go back down now. I stand by. He ain't that funny. He say stupid stuff. That ain't funny.
No, it's hilarious.
No.
That ain't funny.
That ain't funny. You need to get an education. You talk about running for governor and all kinds of stuff. You need to have some sense.
Well,
No.
Y'all laughing at him because he's stupid.
I ain't never let that go. I'm glad we got to talk about this. Maybe you didn't say he was fun. No, you was. You was chiming in with them. You was helping them out. I remember that.
I doubt
You was
it.
like,
need you to pull it back
you wasn't
up.
on my
Charles
side.
is
That's the
funny.
issue.
I need you to pull it back up.
You wasn't backing me up.
This is the petty girlfriend.
You wasn't backing me up.
Because I remember.
I
It
need
was
to
a
see
year
it.
ago.
I need to see it.
You wasn't on my side. You was listening to your friends. Anyway.
They saying Shannon Sharp funnier than Charles Barkley. Let's settle that right now. Who's funnier, Shannon Sharp or Charles Barkley?
Shannon
It's
Sharp.
a different kind of funny to me.
Shannon Sharp is funnier just because he's so over the top.
I think that's
He
the
be
thing.
having
He just over the
all
top.
the gummies, the
But I think-
backwoods.
I
he
think,
be sipping that Hennessy
I
on
think
TV.
Charles Barkley is funnier. Like
He show up
has
with a
funnier
LeBron
comments.
jersey and a goat mask on. Shannon Sharp is funny.
Charles
I
Barkley
think
is pettier and funnier.
Charles Barkley is pettier, but I think what makes Charles Barkley funny is he's being dead serious most of the time.
That's true.
And Shannon Sharp is clearly just going for theatrics and like trying to be funny while also trying to make a point. But Charles will look you dead in your eyes and be serious. And what he said was funny as hell, but he's being so serious.
That's why I think that's funnier than the theatrics.
You should have heard them the other night. First of all, let me get to why he's the petty
It's also
betty.
more authentic.
Let me get to why he's the petty
Go
betty.
ahead. So it's more authentic. Go.
It's been the longest petty betty in 5 seasons. 4 or 5 seasons. Anyway, he's the petty betty because he said that that's why I'm talking about skill. Charles Barkley is the petty betty because he said Malik Beasley is having one hell of a year. Now,
Hey, there's no context to it either. They were just talking about the Timberwolves.
he just said Malik Beasley is having a hell of a year. So it was one of those
That's the way
shady,
he
if you
said
know,
it.
you know. It was just shady. If you know, you know. He didn't expound upon it, and you know that's the type of stuff that he'll say. And Kenny will chuckle and shake his head, and Shaq is over there weak because you know they know.
That's Shaq. He's like Shaq. He's like Chuck. Malik Beasley having a good season.
The two of them just together are a petty tandem.
Hilarious,
and
bro.
if you know what what Malik Beasley has been up to over the last couple months, then you understand why he is having indeed a hell of a year and a hell of a season. So it was just funny to me. Also, the other day they had DeAndre Jordan mic'd up.
Oh yeah.
And then they played the clip, and of the 4 or 5 clips, only one of them could you actually hear DeAndre Jordan. And Chuck and Shaq were weak as hell talking about, you dummy, all you gotta do is slide the thing up on the board.
Slide the dial up on the board.
We can't hear that. And it was literally, they were talking about inside tracks. And you see him talking to you. I was sitting at home like,
Chuck, like, you big dummy?
am I tripping? Because I don't hear nothing this man is saying. Then it came back and they cracking up. I was like, oh. You blew that big time. You mic'd up one player every game, and you didn't at any point say, damn, here's my game. Oh, no, just gonna leave it off. That also shows you how important DeAndre is to that team as well as basketball. Moving on to speaking of shouting. Skip! What you got?
Today I'm going to be speaking
in tongues.
I almost said speaking. Today I'm going to be speaking or shouting about... Today I'll be speaking, I want to speak on that a movie that I watched. Shut up.
Shut up.
That was good.
Josh be speaking in tongues the whole show. Literally, you are funny because you like Charles. Cam said Charles funny because he can't talk.
That's okay. That's okay. Hey, Charles Barkley got several Emmys. I'll take it. He's hilarious. He's funnier than Shannon Sharp. Anyway, I'm gonna be speaking about a movie that I watched last week. I hope if you have not seen it, definitely need to see it. One Night in Miami, about Malcolm X. Sam Cooke was in it. It's about a night in Miami with Malcolm X, Jim Brown, Sam Cooke, and Muhammad Ali. After a fight, Muhammad Ali won the championship with Lane Listening. Excellent movie. A lot of great dialogue. And it was really... I plan on watching it again. It inspired me.
It looks good.
It inspired me to watch some other things and read some other things. So, make sure you check that movie out. Dope movie. If you have not seen it, it's free if you have Amazon Prime or Prime Video. Go in there and watch it. So that's what I'm speaking and shouting about.
So we doing free promotion though.
It's not free promotion. Okay, it is kind of free promotion. Yeah.
I'll be damned. Amazon, you better cut me a check.
Shout out Regina King too. It's not. Shout out Regina King too. Yeah, she was the director. I think this might have been her first director project, and she did a tremendous job. Hey, Regina King is like a up and coming GOAT. Like, think about all she's done since the 80s. She doing a lot of stuff, and she been showing her ass recently.
Hey man, enjoying Straight Talk live in the studio is a whole different type of experience. This show is funny as hell.
Producer right here.
It's the producer. It's the audience for me. Taylor, you were a shout out from Cam as the honorable mention for Petty Betty this week and every week, really. We understand. Yeah, you. Look, this week I'm gonna be serious though. This the first. There you go. There you go again, stirring that damn pot. Got the big spoon. Look, I'm gonna be serious though, so I can wrap this up. I'm gonna be serious, man. I low-key had a mental breakdown this week. Like it's.
I had one today.
Man, come here, man. It's rough out here.
I had one today.
Look, Adrian, like, I'm a damn doctor. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. No, Adrian said, shit. Yeah, me too. So, to all of my fellow, it looked like everybody in here this week might have had one. I know for at least myself, I had a good one. Being in your 20s, it can be easy to feel like life is just beating your ass. You can feel lost. You can feel like, man, life has literally been if you put Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Floyd, and a tiger in a test tube and just birth the result and say
a phone booth,
kill, like just go kill. That's been life. Like life has been whooping my ass, and it can really be easy in your 20s to feel like I don't have things figured out or I'm suffering.
Why am I here?
I'm in pain. I think we done. Like, it can be very easy to be like, oh, this is a real nice bathtub. I think this toaster would make a good bath bomb.
Oh my God.
But in all seriousness, man,
you gotta hit him with that twine. Gotta hit him with that,
In all seriousness, man, like life really can really have you feeling down on yourself in your 20s. It's a lot of pressure from external sources, whether it be what you're seeing in the media, whether it be your family. It's just a lot of things that can come down on you, make you feel like, damn, like I still ain't got this figured out. Like, what's wrong with me? Am I doing something wrong? Or doing what you maybe, like in my case, I did a lot in college. I ain't doing shit with that degree right now. So for me personally, at times I feel like maybe I already peaked. This life was as good as it was going to get in relation to my career field because clearly I'm just going to do some nonsense job and just hope the podcasts continue to provide me the joy I want instead of actually having a career related to this type of stuff. Needless to say, just take it easy on yourself, man. You just got to breathe, be patient. Your 20s, you're just getting started. Like, you have your whole life to get stuff together. Don't feel rushed. Don't let that pressure get to you. Just breathe and try to just be calm. Like, it will get better, but it's really easy to just get in your head and start going crazy. If you need some help, talk to your peoples, man. For me, it's... Derek said FBK.
Literally after putting her phone after typing Rev preaching again, my brother.
Rev preaching. Like, okay. It's okay. Sometimes it's okay to not be strong all the time. And like I feel like I had that moment the other night. Like I always try to be like, yeah, you can come talk to me, and I don't ever talk to nobody. Right. And whenever life said, "Oh, you ain't got nothing to say," I was like, "Okay, maybe I should open up a little more." Cause you just knocked the wind out of me. Like my stomach hurt. So it's okay, man. Just breathe. You'll get through it. We'll work through it. Rely on your peoples for some help. If you need to talk to somebody, if you need professional help, go get that, man. It's okay. Like don't put yourself in a box and don't feel too much pressure, man. Life gets better. That's all I gotta say.
I'll make it real quick. And I'm just gonna say, Josh, you the real petty baby this week for remembering that conversation. I mean, that is
he pulled that out his ass.
That is insane.
I've been hanging on.
I don't even understand. Sure. I don't even remember the meme. I don't even remember what thread it was in. I don't even know how to find it.
The fact that was so long.
Yeah, I don't even know how to pull that up in my phone. You the real petty baby.
I'm gonna search for Chuck
this week, and that's all I gotta say about that.
Let me see if it comes up in Chuck.
Yeah, I had to. I hung over that for a minute, and I couldn't wait, and I'm glad we got to do it on the show. That was good content. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for us. Appreciate you guys.
Wait. Adrian did say Chuck is not funny.
I know.
And Ant liked it. And
it's not news to me.
And Cam emphasized it.
It's not news to me. I already know who was and you did not.
No, you said table 6. You said give me table 6 all day, and I was the only one to emphasize it. I agree.
Who was at the table?
Yeah, but you didn't back me up when I was cap. When I was arguing with him.
Who was at the table?
I was probably at work. Hold on. Let me see. Table 6 was Shaq, Kenny, and Chuck.
Y'all picked the one with Shannon Sharp. Where he at?
Oh, Shannon Sharp, Stephen A. Smith, and Snoop Dogg. Okay.
That is a great table.
That's a pretty fair table.
It's a fair table.
Shannon Sharp and Stephen A. Smith.
I didn't have an issue with the table. I had the issue. Chuck is not funny. That's the issue I had with it.
Okay.
That's why I held on to it for so long.
No, if you say you disagree with that pick, that's fine. But to say Chuck ain't funny,
I didn't disagree with the pick.
No, I'm just saying, like, if they were to say, and in the screenshot you sent of the post, I commented table 6 for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, back up.
But you didn't back me up. That's all I'm saying. We can go through the
Corvette.
Listen,
anyway,
we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap it up right now, and then we'll fill y'all in next week. We appreciate y'all. Thank you.